Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Journey Success Stories podcast. I'm Jennifer Shuffle, your host, and today with me, I have Ken and Danielle Prost with Prost Mortgage. Welcome, guys.
Hello.
Hey, thanks for having us today.
Super excited, and you all are in for a huge treat because they are a cool dynamic duo. So, of course, if this is your first time to the show, welcome, but make sure that you like and subscribe because you'll want to get notifications every time we have a new show drop, just like this one, so that you can come back and listen time and time again. Of course, Ken and Danielle, welcome so much because you're going to have all sorts of great challenges and tidbits that you guys have learned along your guys' journey that you'll want to, of course, share on the show. So tell us a little bit about the two of you and how you got to where you are today.
Go ahead, Danielle.
Oh, okay, great, thanks. So Ken has been in the industry for 28 years, and we met 26 years ago. And in this August, it'll be 26 years. And I remember calling my mom after our first date, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I met the man I'm going to marry. I love him." And I was 20, and Ken was 31, which is important to the story because he was already knew everything. Not really at all, but he it was slower, I think. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I love this guy." And so I was in college at the time. I went to Miami, and my major was diplomacy and foreign affairs. So I wanted to work for the United Nations, and Ken had a background in similar. Ken, what was your exact major?
International business, international studies and focus on business for undergrad, and then graduate school. It was master's international business major, MBA, international MBA.
So we both were super fascinated with all of that stuff. And I had wanted to work for the Intermonetary Fund and travel the world, blah, blah. So fast forward, I was like, "I love this guy. I want to get married." And so we got married because that's how those things work. And Ken at the time owned a mortgage company with a business partner. And I was a stay-at-home mom. I think I made it 8 weeks. And I was like, I want to go back to work. I had been a social worker for Cincinnati area for people with disabilities. Loved it, super passionate about it, and just really missed it. Needed a lot of flexibility as a new mom. So I just did admin work for the company that we owned. And it just all grew from there. Ken, you want to take over the story?
Yeah, so I was in the industry before Danielle. A good buddy of mine from our wedding was a loan officer, very successful, from Western Kentucky. Went to WKU, and I met him actually at a summer exchange program in London. He was there, and we became friends, and then he ended up being in our wedding. But he was a very successful loan officer and smart guy. But I thought, he's not any smarter than me, so I can do that. He was very successful, so I thought I can do this. So when I got out of graduate school, I was trying to figure out which route I wanted to go with my career, and it was just it was in the late 1990s, let's say, and the prospects weren't great. I worked for a bank for a short period of time. It was fine, but it was kind of boring, 9 to 5 or longer. It wasn't really banker hours. They were making me work a lot in their financial and budget department, and I just didn't like it. So I said, I want to be a loan officer. I want to do what you do, and convinced the company at the time to hire me. They said I was overqualified. They didn't want to hire me, and I said, I'm starting Monday, so just have a desk for me. That's a true story. The manager wanted to hire me, but her boss said, "No, you're going to be bored." I'm like, "Trust me, I'm not going to be bored. You need to hire me. I'll be here Monday." So 1998, I got in the business, and a few years later, Danielle joined me, successful loan officer. Then I was a branch manager for a bit, and then we opened up a mortgage company for a few years until 2007. If you know what happened, 2007, 2008, it was a little bit of a problem with the economy. So we switched companies, shut down our company, and transitioned a couple of transitions since then. But we've been with our current company for about going on 6 years now, right, Danielle? It'll be 6 years coming up.
Yep. 6 years
very
in
happy.
September.
Yep. And Danielle's the boss now. She's the manager, and I'm
But I think
pretty
I've been the
senior.
manager. I've been the branch manager since Atticus was born. So about
Yeah.
16 years.
How
And
long
I
have we been
think
married?
23.
So she's been the boss for 23 years.
No, it started when you guys were dating.
Oh, that's
She's
true.
got, I love this
Right.
guy.
Well, I mentioned I like that book, Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. She must have read the book Cook That Frog, because she put the frog in, put me in there, low boil, and turned it up slowly. She that's how she got me.
That is true. Well, there's a lot of
That's a
truth in
book.
that.
Cook That Frog,
Cook that frog.
The Life
That's a
Guide to
good book to you,
Marriage.
right, Ken?
Oh, there you go.
Based
Yeah.
off all the things that, yeah, you come in contact with. So tell me, because I've been very fortunate to hear all sorts of different stories and how you guys have really helped others. So think about that one story that really stands out to each of you as far as, oh my gosh, this one was a doozy, but the way it turned out was just absolutely remarkable. So share with everyone that one story of what you guys have done, because you guys make miracles happen.
So I'll share, and it's not a super like, oh my gosh, story. I just love it. I love the client. His name is Jerry. He was an older gentleman, had never owned a home before, and needed a little bit of a path for home ownership, not a ton of game plan. And we met with him and talked with him, and he's like, I just want to be able to host my family, his extended family, for a cookout in my backyard. And he was just so passionate about wanting to have a place for his family to come and gather. So we helped him buy his first home. It was like $65,000, and it was his castle. And we gave him a grill set for closing. Like, and he comes to all of our like work events. Like, we'll have our pie day in the fall, and Jerry will be there. And I just love him, and I love that he like we're part of his extended family now. And he's just, and like, we'll send him, messages through our customer relationship management software and like, happy Father's Day, or, whatever, happy Merry Christmas. And he's always like, oh, love that you think of me. Like, I love you. I just love kind people, and getting the chance to help somebody just have their safe and secure place is yes. And that's not like he didn't have some crazy crisis, but he's just now like a member of our extended family, and I love it.
Yeah. All right, Ken, over to you.
So kind of similar to that. One couple, they were older. They've rented an apartment forever, and they lived in a really, they said this, not me, but a really not so great apartment complex locally, and just a lot of rules and not tremendously safe. And his dream was to be able to grill out in the backyard of his own house, and had been turned down. Other people said he couldn't purchase, and we were able to get them approved and close, and they have their house now. And there's been a lot of clients like that. It's very rewarding, especially when they don't think they can get approved, and often other places will turn people down, and then people are discouraged, and not they don't believe they can qualify, and it's really not the case. I mean, we've had numerous customers where a certain bank or lender said no, or several banks and lenders said no, and we were able to find a path for them to get approved. I had one last week. Even the score's not great. It's a 547 score, and one of the things we can offer is a credit simulator, a what if simulator, similar to what like a Credit Karma has, where they can see if they pay this down or pay that down or get rid of this collection, what would their score go to? So it's very similar. Well, we can take that, and then they give us proof, and then we can do a rapid rescore. So he's paying down 4 credit cards, a couple $1,000s. It's not just, sometimes it's only $100. It's easy. He's paying a couple $1,000s down on credit cards, and then 2 other collections, smaller collections, to get them paid. And they're actually with the creditor, so it's not a third party that they're paying off, and they're not deleting the collection. Sometimes you can have collections deleted, and that helps. But paying these down, or paying off the 2 little collections, and his score is literally going to be 667. potentially next week, because we can push it through manually to the credit bureaus. Doesn't take 60 days. It's not something we have to wait for it to just update. And a week from now, he's going to have a 120-point increase in his credit score and ready to buy. That's what we love, things like that.
Yeah. I love that you guys do that for people and really guide them in the process. It's not just, I'm your mortgage broker. It's truly, let me guide you through this process. And for first-time home buyers, tell me a little bit more about some of those first-time home buyers that have come to you and just try to understand the process. What do I need to do? Here's my credit. And just because it's a lot, it can be overwhelming, which is probably why some people just rent for so long.
Well, this customer, the one I just highlighted, is one of those first-time home buyers, and he wants to do a down payment assistance program we have in Kentucky, Kentucky Housing. Great program for not only first-time home buyers, but it can be for repeat buyers. But they will offer down payment assistance and will give you 100% financing with a 620 credit score. And that's government programs, 660 for conventional, but they can buy a house and have the down payment covered and even some of the closing costs. And we use probably 70, 80 customers a year in our branch alone. We close with that program. And that's just, one of the options that we have. We have some other down payment assistance programs in Ohio Housing, and then City of Cincinnati, City of Covington, Rivertown Funds program. There's a lot of options out there. And a lot of people, sometimes it's the news, and you would think it'd be an expert, like a financial expert on the financial news channel will say you need 20% down, and that's not the case. You don't need 20% down. You can put 20% down, but you don't have to have it, and you don't have to have excellent credit scores. There's options available. Home affordability is a problem. It's a struggle nationwide right now, but programs like Kentucky Housing and some of these other ones that are available are really helping fight that. And the one thing Kentucky Housing added, instead of just single family homes, what we've been preaching or suggesting, preaching, whatever you want to call it, to a lot of new buyers, young people that are older and want to buy their first house, is consider a multifamily, like a two-family. Kentucky Housing allows a duplex for that program with down payment assistance. So they could live in one unit, they have to live there, and then the other unit they can rent out, and that creates rental income. It maybe cuts their mortgage payment in half, and that helps fight that affordability issue that's going on right now.
So when is the best time for people to come and see you guys to really evaluate what options, where should I be, what should I have going on? If they know they want to be a homeowner at some point, what's the best time for them to come and see you guys?
The earlier, the better. The first time they ever watch HGTV and they're like, I want to buy a house. Like the first time they're streaming Property Brothers, they're like, that could be me. Because it's great to have a plan. It doesn't cost them anything. We're happy to sit down, even if they're like, hey, I'm in college and I know that when I graduate, I want to buy investment properties. People, having a plan in place will be much more likely for them to be able to meet that goal, and whether it's something that they need to save down payment money for, or they're going to use down payment assistance, or maybe they have a collection that they need to take care of on credit, or before they make some costly mistakes on credit. Like always sit down, earlier the better. If the customer has filed Chapter 7 recently, a bankruptcy, but they know that they have goals in the future to own a home, sit down and talk to us. We'll help you develop a plan for whatever that is. We're not going anywhere. We've been here a long time. So,
right, because if they thought, sorry, go ahead.
No, I just would rather help them through that path, even if they're in the middle of something that's a little bit messy, so that they can get out on the other side wherever their goals are.
Yeah.
Well, like for Chapter 7s, FHA allows financing after 2 years out of the bankruptcy. And they should not wait till they're 2 years out of bankruptcy. Feel free to come talk with us, and we can give them advice so that one of the things they need to do is rebuild some new credit. So we would advise to open up a secured credit card now, so you have close to 2 years of history on your credit that's positive, and that will help. And then there's, you can open up a small credit builder loan that's an installment loan. So have a credit card and an installment loan to build that credit depth and kind of tilt that scale. I tell people you have good credit, bad credit, and then if you add some good credit, it's going to tilt the scale in your favor. So the bad credit from the past doesn't have as much impact, and then your scores will go up. But if they wait 2 years until after if they wait till 2 years after the bankruptcy and then they start talking to us, then we're like, well, you need to do these two things now, and then we might need to wait a few months to get the credit on there and move the needle on the credit scores. So the earlier the better.
Nice. And a very important part that I want to highlight, you guys have an amazing team. So, how many employees do you guys have, including yourselves?
Let's see. So
About 10, right?
so
We have to add it up.
I think there's about 10, and then we have some part-time loan officers as well. I do want to circle back really quick to what Ken was talking about, if you don't mind. One thing I do want to add, because we get so passionate to talk about people who need that credit help or who need that game plan.
Yeah.
We work a lot with people who have excellent credit as well and who have the down payment, but who actually want to have a mortgage advisor. It's very easy, like with everything, right? We can go online, we can find something online, but you're not going to have really a relationship with somebody who's looking out for your best interests. So who can work, who knows the community. We try to be a true community lender where we can work with clients who have excellent credit, the down payment, to people who do need a game plan without them having a difference in the service that they receive.
Yeah.
So just to make sure we talk about that too, because I think it's so, we don't want to dismiss people who are like, well, I know what I need to do. And that's so awesome. And we're here for you too. And we do have a great team. Our processing is all done in our office in Northern Kentucky. We have our loan partners, which are our loan officer assistants, are out of our office as well. We don't really have remote employees. We want people to be able to stop in our office, meet somebody who's looking over their most private financial stuff. Like, it's a lot, and we appreciate the trust that people put in with us. So all of our work is done locally with our underwriting out of our corporate office, which is outside of Detroit.
Awesome. So the big piece about your team is you have some amazing bilingual individuals.
We do. We have Becky, who is fantastic. She is our bilingual loan officer, super passionate about helping the community. She is originally from Colombia and has been in the US since she was about 10. She's absolutely fantastic. And we're actually hiring her a full-time loan partner to assist her with being able to really grow her presence in the community and being able to grow Hispanic homeownership. I'm on the board for the Greater Cincinnati Realtist Association in Cincinnati, that is working to end some of the disparity of minority homeownership. The numbers in our area are just a lot lower than they are nationwide. So how can we as a community lender, whether it's having Becky on our team or myself on the board or different organizations, that we can really help the path to home ownership flourish in Northern Kentucky, Cincinnati area.
Awesome. So, what is something that the business has gifted you guys that has been just a surprise? Something that you never ever thought was even possible, but it's kind of like took you by surprise because there's all sorts of things that you guys do. So, I'm kind of curious, what's something that's gifted you kind of in return?
I can answer that, I think.
Okay.
I would say it's not, I don't say it's a ministry, but it's kind of a ministry to help the community and help people, change lives.
Yeah.
Through home ownership, the dream of home ownership. It's very rewarding. It's
Yeah.
more rewarding than you would think. It's not just it's a job or it's a career, and there's revenue and there's paychecks, but you're making a difference.
Yeah.
For
So
me, I think it's given us a place to raise our family together, for us to be, like, I remember we were first dating or married, and Ken would work all the time because he, that's what we do and I didn't really understand quite, like, why do you have to call people on Saturday? And then when I joined the team a couple years later, it was like, oh, because that person deserves to be heard. They deserve time, and they work Monday through Friday. The only time they have to really work on this for themselves is the weekend. So the ability to really spend our time together while helping other people, I think, is just like such a gift. And I remember, with a kid being home from school, or like being able to like hang out with them and still help the community, like just having that flexibility, which is so important as a mom.
absolutely.
And the other thing that surprised Danielle probably more than me is that we can work together as a couple and not kill each other. Although I usually irritate her more than she irritates me. than she irritates me, but
100%.
yeah,
Totally agree. Um,
yeah,
But it's funny because I remember, I don't feel like we get that as much now, but maybe when we were first married or first working together, like, oh my gosh, how do you work with your spouse? I could never do that. I'm like, because you develop really clear paths. Like, I don't originate loans. That's not what I do in the business. And Ken doesn't manage the processing side or the marketing side. That's what I do. And we've always had very clear delineated roles. And I think that it makes it like, and the goals are always very clear. Like, we do a ton of goal setting. We know what we're trying to do together as a team. So
and I've really worked hard when it's 11 o'clock at night or midnight and we're laying in bed. I'm like, oh my gosh, what about this file? What about this customer? Danielle, blah blah blah, and she says, no work. Don't talk about work before I go to sleep, because then I'll have
I I
nightmares,
don't
not
think you
nightmares, but
work
worry about it might affect my sleep.
really hard. I don't think you work that hard on that, because I feel like you still do that all the time.
I try to do it. I try to do
I'm
it
not doing that.
earlier. Right? Yeah, it's tough to turn it off because
10:45.
we care so much about everybody. So
Because you
Oh, we
stop.
can't.
And it's like all these things, they start bouncing in your head, and you're like, well,
that's
what about,
true.
what about?
Yeah,
Shut up, Ken. Go to sleep. I can hear it
yeah.
now.
Uh-huh.
So, one of the cool pieces, and I'll come back to goal setting, so don't let me forget,
Oh yeah.
but community. This is a huge piece that I love that you guys do is going out, being part of the community and inviting others to be a part of that community. Tell us a little bit more about community and what you guys have done in order to embrace that in our area.
I get to go first on this one. So
Yes, definitely.
time is like my passionate project.
She makes me a better person. We do so much, you know.
I do. It's my goal. Um, so we every year we have a project around Christmas time where we do a food drive to have dinner baskets that we give out to the community for people who have some food insecurities for Christmas dinners. So every year we do about 50 to 60 full dinner baskets that we give out. Um, I am super active in the emergency shelter of Northern Kentucky. Huge plug for them. They're absolutely fantastic programming for people that are experiencing homelessness. Just so passionate about that. So we do a lot with them. And then the Brighton Center is a fantastic organization that we teach homeownership classes at, along with they have some programming that I'm part of throughout the year. And I know we go.
The food drive at you mentioned the food drive at Thanksgiving as well.
Oh, so that's fun. So we do this pie giveaway to all of our, referral partners and friends and members of the community. And it's a really great day at our office, usually the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. And then we ask people if they can bring in food that they want to donate. And we get that together for the food drive. I got the food drive that we do in December. So for the community. But I know
Well, the other thing too, while you're thinking, is our corporate office has a huge um, philanthropic mission, partners making a difference.
Mm,
And we raise money every year for different organizations nationwide. Daniel, what is it? They've raised over $1 million. Is that they just hit $1 million in donations
Yeah.
recently? Isn't that correct?
And we give money to that too.
Yeah.
Right.
So definitely, they choose a few organizations nationwide to support.
awesome. So back to goal setting, because I said I was going to come back to this. So, how do you guys establish goals in the business? Because here's a really cool thing, you guys have a coach. So, you actually have someone who's guiding you through and coaching you as well. So,
Mhm.
tell me a little bit more about that goal setting and what you guys do.
Absolutely. So we and plug for coaching. Oh my goodness. We have had a coach maybe like the last 8 years, and our production is so much greater than it was before having a coach. So it's not, oh, well, I'm not new to the business, so I need a coach. No, you need a coach no matter how long you've been in the business. You have to have a business coach. You have to have somebody who can see the forest for the trees or whatever the expression is.
Well, and
So
if you've been in the business long enough, you probably developed bad habits
that too.
that you need to get over. So and be willing to change.
Absolutely.
That's something for me.
For sure. And so we do a big goal planning weekend. Ken and I go away for a weekend. The last couple of years, it's been French Lick, Indiana, and set all of our goals, review the year, and then we talk about it throughout the year and develop different strategies, different game plans. And then with our coach, we always have goals that we're working on for different quarters or different events. And really dialing down to, if I do an event, if I'm going to be, for instance, at a golf outing, what is my return on that investment? Not just,
Yes.
oh, did I get a loan? No, did I get to opportunity to build a relationship? What's my follow-up system going to be? And really valuing my time and getting better, more intentional.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. So, that being said, where do you guys see the business 10 years from now?
I think we want to double our production. As far as locally, if you're asking for our goals, we'd like to be closing 50 loans a month as a branch and help 600 families a year purchase or refinance. I did the right math, right? Yeah, 600 a year. Yeah. Um, I think we're in the other thing too, if you're speaking like a higher level view of the industry and where we're going to be, not just where are Ken and Danielle going to be, but the big question is with AI and technology, is
Yes.
the business going to be the same? And I think people still want the people interaction, especially a big decision like buying a house or a home financing. There's still going to be that human touch that we need. And but I think AI and some of the technology will make us and others more efficient who embrace it, but it's not going to replace the need for that human interaction with the transaction, with the goal of home ownership. They're going to need to have us as a guide, an expert guide through the process.
Yeah, totally agree. And the beauty about that is instead of doubling your staff in order to get to where you want to be, well, maybe I just hire two or three people because we're
Mhm.
working more efficiently. We have more processes and we're able to leverage it to really get things through where it needs to be.
Yeah, a good example.
Agree.
A good example of that. Sorry, Danielle. A good
Mhm.
example of technology and what we're talking about is we, as a company, our parent company, just rolled out same day underwriting, where and it's like 30 minutes later, the file is conditionally approved potentially.
Hmm.
So it saves the underwriter's time, it saves everybody time in the process. And it's a brand new feature that we rolled out as a company with AI's help, and it's just going to be able to make everybody more efficient. So that's what I'm talking about, using technology and
Mhm.
AI to help uh, make the process smoother and not as arduous as it can be as far as there's a lot of moving parts with a home transaction. Um, so it'll help everybody involved.
Excellent. All right. So this has been a super interesting story. I can go on and on and on, but I have a couple of rapid fire questions. Are you guys ready?
Ready.
Excellent. All right. What is the key to success for you?
Not as much sleep as the doctor recommends.
How about you, Ken?
So to give you a suggestion that is hopefully helpful, maybe get a little bit of sleep, but always, no, seriously, always end your day on a win.
Yeah.
If you're in sales, like I am, so to speak, don't go home until you have a win. Whether it's a good phone conversation, whether it's a new application, don't end the day on something that's a negative. End it on a positive.
So you're telling me you're done after this, is what you're saying.
This would be a good time to leave. Yes.
Sorry,
This is
Danielle.
good. Yeah. But
Okay.
I can't.
I don't need sleep. Let's keep working.
What is your one piece of advice to other business owners or even branch managers for that matter?
Be
What is the
patient.
question again? What is the question again?
What
What's
is your
one
one?
piece of advice
Yeah.
for business owners?
Or loan officers, or people in sales, all of the above. You said be patient, Danielle. What did you say?
Be patient and kind. You can't go
Yeah.
wrong with that.
That's good. I was going to say, from a sales perspective, work harder than you think you need to be successful.
You never work as much as you think you are. When I am coaching with our loan officer team, I'm always like, I don't think you're working as much as you think you are.
Like, yeah, be productive in your work too.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
So.
Well, what I heard Danielle say before is every human needs a coach.
Yes, they do. Everybody needs a coach. I coach with my sales team. I coach with my ops team. Everybody needs a coach.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. What is a book or podcast you're reading or listening to right now?
Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinneman. It's amazing. It's not a business book. Take a break. Listen to that on Audible. It's so good.
Yes.
Or read it.
Yes. Love it.
Ken's
8
reading
books.
it too. And yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And then Eat That Frog, Brian Tracy. Definitely like that one. Get that hard thing out of the way, the hard task of the day. Get it done early.
Yes.
I think that's the number one book that I recommend. It's big font, simple read for me. It's not like the Lord of the Rings trilogy that's this thick, whatever. But
right.
Anyway, but also Dungeon Crawler Carl is an awesome 8-book series. You got to say it really slow.
Yeah, you would. It's a tongue twister for sure. So, Eat That Frog is the first book that we always have all of our new coaching clients read. So, you start with the hard thing at the beginning of the day, you end on a high note.
Yeah.
Well said. Yeah.
Right.
So, here's a fun question for you guys. If you had a little bit of magic dust that you could sprinkle on one part of the business, what would it be and why?
The processing part, where there's so many dynamic pieces moving around and people don't always follow their best interests. Like, we have a client that just opened up a credit card, even though we had told him not to, and trying to navigate through that and protecting people against themselves and liens that can pop up and just the unknown on the processing side. If I could wave a magic fairy dust, I would make that all sorts of glitter and sparkles.
Ditto.
Which we do a lot on our end to make it that way, but you can't protect everything from itself.
You know what I'm picturing is a social post now with Ken being like S60 dust. Like,
a fairy. That is perfect. I'm going to go order it on Amazon.
You might see me dressed up as Uncle Sam in the next week, so that might be the limit of this Captain American, like Captain America behind me.
Well, this has been so much fun, you guys, and I'm so happy that you took the time out to share with us more about yourselves and, of course, the business. But most importantly, how can people get in contact with you because they need you and they need to reach out?
Absolutely. They can apply on our website at homeloansuccess.com. They can call our office at 859-795-1316. And we always get the voicemails if it's after hours. And they can reach any of us directly that way.
Or stop in to see us in Cold Spring, Kentucky.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Awesome. So, final question. What is most inspiring to you today?
Something I've read recently is trying to show up more for my future self. So being more inspired by my future self so that I don't look back and be like, man, past self sucked. So that is what I'm trying to inspire myself with. It's like going that extra mile because my future self will be so much happier.
Yeah.
That's very good. I would say that just pray, and I'm the emotional one in the relationship, or more emotional, but just that God is listening.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Uh-huh. Completely agree.
Yeah.
Well, this was a great conversation. I really enjoyed hearing your guys' story, even though some of it I already knew. But getting to have you guys share that with everyone is so humbling. And I thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. So, of course, I encourage all of you who are watching to save this show, come back and watch it again because Danielle and Ken had some great insights on business, but also for your personal lives. And you never know who you know that may need the team and to really lean in toward that home ownership. So, of course, make sure you like and subscribe so you can get notifications every time we have a new show drop, just like this one. Again, thanks to everyone who joined us today, and a special thank you to Ken and Danielle with First Mortgage for being with us today. Really appreciate you both.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you for having us.
Of
Thank you.
course. Thank you.